Hey guys, Road Warrior back here. I wanted to go through something on Fishing Planet in regards. I've had people asking me how to match up your gear properly, that sort of thing. One thing I wanted to illustrate here, I've noticed in my experience here on Fishing Planet is in regards to line weight and setting up your gear properly to get uniques and that sort of thing, or fish that you want in this game, there's definitely a difference between lure and bait, in my opinion, in regards to line weight and what's acceptable and in that regard to getting a bite rate as well as a unique ultimately. But I'm going to illustrate this on several lakes first, starting with lures. Now, if you notice what the setup is there, this is an actual Tropicana with 83-pound fluoro, believe it or not. And as you can see here, I just got a unique Oregon red band. Now, you would think in real life, I don't fish for trout very much. We do have a couple lakes around the area where they drop in some from a hatchery, so I'm not a real experienced trout fisherman, but I'd like to think in real life uh, they would probably, this would probably not work using the 83-pound line to catch a trout. But yet here on Fishing Planet, again, I'm just illustrating this. I'm not knocking the game, but I'm just showing players their self that now if you're farming and that sort of thing, obviously you wanted to go with a smaller setup, but I just wanted to illustrate this at multiple lakes on how odd this is and what there is a difference, a big difference in my experience from bait and lures in regards to line weights and setups on what you're particularly targeting. And a lot of these here I'm just going to show you as it cycles out here in this kind of real time, just going from fish to fish to fish. As you can notice, I am not having any difficulty just going again one after the other, catching here. I'll just kind of let this play out. I'll narrate here and there throughout. But again, as you can see, I just keep catching fish after fish. And it doesn't seem to matter much at all on what the line weight itself. In other words, I don't think it's going to pick up too much if you switched out and went to a, let's say, a jig winner, that sort of thing. Now, that's usually my preference here. Is usually a jig winner or a Thor or something like that. But I'm just kind of showing you this. Just number one, a lot of people may argue this fact, but this is just living proof, again, that this is a thing. And you'll kind of be shocked when I go to Tiber and see what I use there to catch some unique trout as well. Now there's closing up there at the end. That was just kind of just a quick review of the net that I went through here at Falcon on Fishing Planet with that 83-pound fluoro set up on a Tropicana, believe it or not. Again, in my head, I would like to think that shouldn't work in real life, but again, I don't fish too much for trout. Moving on here to Rocky Lake. Now, some of you guys might even be shocked at this one. Um, if you've ever played in Old Bucks, can you imagine if you got this bite in Old Bucks? And the comical part is this wasn't even really a good peak. I didn't even really look at the peak. I just went in and started casting. And of course, nonetheless, if you can see that, watch this cycle out. Again, just using a similar lure, just doing stop and go. I'm trying to keep the control in regards to just kind of letting these things happen. But again, a unique Colorado trout with 83-pound fluoro. That's right, fellas. 83-pound fluoro, that bit. I don't think I ended up getting a unique cutthroat, but again, due to time constraints, I was working on other things and stuff in real life. But I just wanted to let this all happen here and just kind of see myself how this is going to cycle out. I was aware of this a long time ago, just myself trying to evaluate setups and that sort of things in regards to getting trophies and uniques no matter where I'm fishing at. But I did really notice, and something I'm trying to drill home. Now, if this will ever change, I don't know. Again, I'm not trying to pick on the devs, but this just is what it is. I did lose a little bit of footage, but there's a quick, I don't even know if that was 10 or 12 minutes. We would love to have that kind of bite in Old Bucks, right? Probably not going to happen because that's a whole nother issue in itself, but I just want to show you. Now watch this close in real time. Now I've got a Nile chaser. Continuing on with the lures, bite rates in regards to the line, that sort of thing. I even got a titanium leader on a Nile chaser. I just want to let this play out in real time and how kind of comical this was. And I do fish for largemouth in real life, and I would never, most of the time my setups are anywhere from 10, 12 pounds, 14 pounds, maybe 20, 25 pounds max, depending on where I'm fishing for largemouth bass in real life. I would like to think, again, 97-pound braid with a gigantic titanium leader probably wouldn't be realistic in regards to the fish not noticing that there's, it's almost like having a rope attached to a lure, in my opinion. Just kind of again letting this go through here, just kind of show you kind of comical how fast this happens. But once I realize there's a guy standing at the end of the dock, I just switch over and go to another room. That way that's not blocking out. But I just wanted to talk this through. I'm just kind of showing you here. So I just go to just a private room real quick, just so I'm not getting blocked. My view's not blocked and what I'm doing. But oddly enough, and number two, this new lure, if you guys haven't tested it out from the Halloween event, if you guys participated in that, I do actually love this piranha swim bait. I do like the swim baits on Fishing Planet in general, but I thought this was kind of comical. Right into a brand new room, very first cast, and hook into a nice largemouth, again with a Nile chaser with 97-pound braid on it, and I want to say, what is that leader there, 95-pound leader or whatever it is, the biggest titanium leader I think we have in the game right now, which I thought was kind of comical. And I actually, right after this, I'm going to go to, with this very setup, we are going straight over to Tiber. But yes, that's right, a largemouth. Okay, now again, this one I kind of found shocking. So again, I thought I'm just going to leave the same setup on. It is the Nile Chaser, as you can see, with a titanium leader. And I'm throwing out a spinner here. I just wanted to kind of let this play out. Now, I've never really tested this. I did a long time ago to Rocky Lake, as I mentioned, in Falcon, trying bigger setups just to kind of see if it actually made a difference. But look at that unique brown trout with 97-pound braid. Crazy, right? Okay, so now I've casted back. Same spot as you can see there. You can, same day. Same net. I'll show you that here at the end, but I just wanted to illustrate this to you as you evaluate your setups. Now, I don't know if they'll ever change this sort of thing, but to me, there's definitely a big difference in lures and bait on this game in regards to line weight. I will say I'll show some stuff later on coming up on bait, but I just wanted to definitely show you this for all you guys either taking up the game, and maybe some of you guys have found the same thing. Again, you would like to think in real life this probably is not a thing. Titanium leader, unique marble trout with a titanium leader and 97-pound braid. Wow, you think that wouldn't be a thing, but there's the setup that I just used before your very eyes, as well as the net right there. But again, now we're going to move on and cover bait. I have noticed a big difference on this, and big credit goes to a guy by the name of David from the GTF a long time ago, aka Tazzy Devil. He brought this to my attention when I was playing and spotted and banded once. I was using big ollies, and the reason I'm bringing this up and it's kind of illustrating this, just kind of showing you here, the control is I'm going to do the first 15 minutes, same spot, same peak, same time frame. Just kind of let this cycle out here. And just kind of showing you here on Labio. Yes, you can get trophies and maybe an occasional unique, but any guys that are trying to do a checklist or even playing competitively, make sure that you're always evaluating your setups. I have noticed a big difference since David said that. I started going through all of my setups. Again, not any one of them's perfect, but again, as you guys partake in competitions, or even again, if you're doing your checklist or just trying to get unique fish, just a quick review of the net there with the Makanzi. Obviously, that's way oversized. Again, going back to what I said in the start of the video, I've noticed a big difference in, bait versus line weight. It seems that there's definitely something coded differently as there is for bait and lures. So we're just going back here, same spot, same time frame, and just kind of letting this cycle out here. You'll notice usually you'll find a quicker bite rate as well. And the quality of fish, I think, will improve. Now, I think in fish species itself here on Fishing Planet, the bigger the fish to get, obviously, the line weight itself doesn't seem to play as big a role. Now, as far as for like carp and that sort of thing, once you start spotting, anytime you spot, I think, even for like eyed or anything like that, let's say a tuba, or anywhere else, I don't think it matters as much once you spot. But as you can see this play out, I ultimately, sometimes, you'll even find your bite rate itself, as well as the quality of fish that you're catching. You can usually get more trophies and uniques. Again, if you're trying to do your checklist or you're setting up, evaluating there, as you can see, both those uniques came out. So if I was playing in Labio Twins, that'd be better. Now you can get away with a big ollie even here, but I was just kind of illustrating that and the difference. Now we're going to go over here and talk about the one again. Special thanks to Dave with the GTF that kind of told me to evaluate things a long time ago, and I just wanted to thank him for that, because that did change how I was doing things for bait here on Fishing Planet in particular. Now we're starting here with a big ollie, same kind of a trial here. We're just going for the spotted and banded. This is kind of what I used to use when I first started playing in spotted and banded, because I really didn't think it'd make that much of a difference. But boy, it does it ever. And I just kind of wanted to illustrate that here. And this is even one of the slower peaks going for these things, but it is the same peak, the same time frame. Again, just trying to do in the same trial here, letting this play out. And you'll notice that, again, your bite's even a little slower, as well as the quality of fish I'm catching. It's going to end up being ultimately the same thing, where I'm just kind of sitting here just waiting for bites. As you notice, it's just not as fast as a guy would like, and just generally speaking. But I'll let some of this play out, and I'll come back in here and just kind of let you guys observe. Okay, guys, after reviewing that net real quick, kind of see how that got slow there at the end. Now we're switching over to the smaller feeder rod here, and just kind of, I did trim the leaders down, and just kind of wanting to show you the difference in line weight here. Same baits, same all four baits, same spot, pretty much everything is the same. Just kind of wanting to show you this, letting this play out, speeding through here, but you can see just the difference on number one. There's a unique, a second unique, and you guys will find the same thing. Now peaks will vary and that sort of thing, but I just wanted to illustrate that. Same time frame, same spot, same bait, same hook size, that sort of thing, but just the line weight change made a big difference. Now you can critique that to yourself. Maybe you can one-click a reel that you can get them in a little faster if you're competitive, that sort of thing. But I just wanted to illustrate just the line weight thing here on Fishing Planet for sure. Now we're moving on to Cornish Jack here at the Congo, and I wanted to kind of illustrate the same thing. Now peaks will vary. Sometimes you might find a super peak where you can get away with a McConsey and get through and get your uniques, that sort of thing. But on average, you'll notice, you know, either heavy chaser or cat boxer is usually my favorite here. Again, I evaluated these things a long time ago. You might find, again, some discrepancies on your own from maybe platform to platform, but it's just something, regards to whether you're farming or playing competitively, you'll notice kind of the same thing. If you're following with what I'm saying, going from a big ollie down to a Creek Pope per se, or a Laker Max, or you know, a Laker Pro, Creek Pro, that sort of thing. Kind of noticing here, just going from one spot to the next, same peak. Again, same time frame, same hook size, everything's the same except for the setup in regards to line weight. And you'll notice too here on these Cornish Jack that you can still get trophies and commons. You just won't get the uniques like you would on a smaller setup. Again, just moving on here to spot 3, you'll find kind of the same thing if you try this out for yourself. Again, some peaks might vary. You might have to find a super peak where you can go through and get what you want. Now again, just swapping out real quick. Now I didn't even trim the leaders on these. I normally will trim the leaders a little bit, but again, just wanted to illustrate just the difference in the speed as well in regards to the quality of fish and the bite rate that you'll get, going even from the McConseys down here to the cat boxers. From there, just critique it on your own, but that has a unique here again from first spot. You know, fairly quick in comparison, and the peak itself I think was even a little slower. But again, just going on here to spot 2, if you can figure out what the trial is here, I'm doing just trying to keep everything the same except for the setups and the line weight. Just to kind of illustrate here, number 2, you guys, you know, make these things your own. You might find a setup that you like a little better. That is a small unique there. You wouldn't want that and hit the line jack, would you guys? But nonetheless, as you can see, this is just cycling through. Again, just food for thought, especially as more people entering the game. You might find this to hold true for yourself, whether you're going your checklist, whether you're farming, or you're trying to get that particular fish. You will find a big difference between bait and lure. At the time of this video, it is 2024, approaching 2025. I do hope this helps you guys out as you navigate through this game. If it does, leave a like, and I see you guys again in the next one. Happy fishing, man.